So all that to say, we're talking about the virtual open house videos that we do each week. And you can view these in two different places. You can go to cbvirtualopenhouse.com, which will take you to our YouTube channel that has all of our virtual open houses here. And, as we've moved this program forward, because I think this is literally week 13 or 14 or something crazy like that. We didn't think it would go past like 7 or 8, to be honest with you, but here we are. We have really moved all of our advertising to social media, and from there that's where we get all the thousands of views and the watches. But then what we do from there is we actually direct viewers, if they want to click that learn more button, we direct them to the appropriate listing website for that region. So if you watch the Michigan video, you're going to be directed to cbgreatlakes.com. If you watch the St. Croix video, you'll be directed to coldwellbankervi.com and so forth. So the YouTube links are really just there for posterity and for SEO and for easy access. So if you wanted to send a client, hey, this is what we do, this is what I'm going to submit for your listing, this is a really easy way to do that. So what I wanted to go over today was, like I said, 3 things. The first thing is just how to fill out the form itself. We've done 2 or 3 kind of videos or trainings on this before, but I just wanted to show this to you guys, just walk us through it. If you want to get to this form, it does get emailed out every Monday morning when we send out the stats. But additionally, you can go to Schmidt Resources, click on your region, and then under the social graphics square, we have our virtual open house graphics. So this is, again, every week we update with the newest stats. You can see the stats for last weekend's right here. You can download them from here. But additionally, right at the top, you can see it right here. Click here to submit your listing, and that's going to bring you to the virtual open house form. It's pretty straightforward besides the very bottom part that people get caught up on. So I want to kind of go over that here. So region, you choose your region. Name, put the name of the agent. I'll just do John Smith. Phone number, pretty straightforward. Full property address. So this is, again, we've had some people literally just put like 123 Main Street. We need the full address. We need 123 Main Street, St. Augustine, Florida, 4432. I made that zip code up. It's probably Minnesota or something. But we need that full address. We can't just have the street, because this is each video is regionalized, and we want to make sure people have the full address and know where it is. Price, again, pretty straightforward. If you want to make my life a little bit easier, you can put that $sign in there for me so I don't have to do it in the edit. But again, that's little stuff. I see that head shake, Carrie. Who shot your video? So if it was a professional vendor, please share their name. So in the description of each of our YouTube videos, we list all of the vendors that we know shot video for us. So I've had a couple people ask, sometimes you'll submit the listings to leads video, which we'll talk about in a little bit, or just a slideshow video. Some people say, can I submit the photography vendor instead? Absolutely. If you want to, showcase that vendor, please go ahead and do that. Put in, next door photography, or whomever he did that. Whoever did that. So next door photos or something like that. So this is the part that we get caught up on a little bit. Has this listing been previously submitted? This is, as you can tell by the asterisk, this is a required field. If it's been previously submitted, click yes, and then you're done. You click submit and you're good to go. If this listing has not been submitted before, you have to click no. And then
go ahead. You still need.
Hey Judy. And what we need you to do then is upload the video file. So this is the part that like I said, people get kind of hung up on sometimes, because there's confusion between a YouTube link, a video file, what can I upload, how do I do it? So I wanted to spend a couple minutes on this. Essentially, what I'm doing in the back end is taking all of these listings and editing them together. And I need the actual photos or video file to be able to do that. The way I kind of describe it, and it's not a perfect metaphor. It's okay, Judy. It's not a perfect metaphor, but I kind of say like a YouTube link. If I go here to this YouTube link, this is like an address. This is like the address of the home, where I can look at it and I could, see where it is, but it's not the actual physical house itself. I need the actual house in order to be able to build it. Or, you know, that's kind of where the metaphor ends. It's not perfect. But essentially, a YouTube link kind of showcases the video, but we need the actual video itself. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you have a professional video done, your vendor or your agent's vendor will send them an email with a bunch of links. And sometimes there'll be YouTube links, but normally in that body somewhere, there will be a link to download the video. And I had a couple people forward these to me earlier this week, and I wish I could remember who they were so I could show you. But most of the time, a video to download will look like a Dropbox link or a Google Drive link or Vimeo. Those are, in my experience, the 3 places where vendors will send you the option to download a video. And again, Janet sent me one here. Yeah. So again, right here, here we go. You see Dropbox. I click the Dropbox link, and I don't even need to be signed in to a Dropbox account. I can click on, if it's shared with me, I can click on video. And then what we're looking for here, once we find the video we want to use, let me make my window smaller. You can see it right here. Come on now. I'm looking for this button right here in the corner. This arrow and this line, and you can see if I hover over it, it says download. That's what we're looking for. That download button, we'll look at this at Listings to Leads in a minute here. That symbol is download. That means take the file and download it to your computer. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to click download. I'm going to click direct download, which in Dropbox means I want the file on my computer. So I'm going to click that. And now you can see in the corner here, the file starts to download. Now, part of the issue with video files in general is the sheer size of video, right? Like this is 405 megabytes. That's a pretty big video size. I've had people submit them as small as 100 megabytes, which is pretty standard. And I've had some people send up to like 1.5 gigabytes, which is crazy, crazy big. All that to say is it might take a minute. Like this is literally taking about 90 seconds to download from Dropbox. That's okay. What it's going to look like at the end of it, though, and you can see it's downloading right here. I'm just going to go to an example. What it's going to look like at the end of it is I will have a video that most of the time ends with MP4. So you can see that right here, .mp4. That is a video file. And if I preview it, you can see I've got the video here playing, right? So this is a video submitted by an agent for the Home of the Week. Carrie, if you're in the admin account, can you try going through and muting people, please?
I'm not able to.
Oh, you're not?
People.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You guys, can you please make sure you're muted then? You know, because we want to make sure that people can hear what we got going on and stuff. So, please take a second to make sure you're muted, or maybe I'll just mute all. Ha 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 ha. Take that.
Well,
oh, you're muted. Sorry, Carrie. So this is what you're. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. Just keep in mind that our agents have basic G Suite that allows up to 30 gig. So if they want to transfer files, they don't need to purchase Dropbox. They can do that via G Suite, and anybody with business has unlimited.
Yes, so, yeah, that's absolutely. And the reason I use Dropbox is because that's what I've noticed a lot of our vendors using. But if our agents, absolutely, if our agents have video files that they want to store, they can, just like you said, go to drive.google.com. And if I wanted to add a video to my drive, I could literally, guys, go down to my downloads folder, and just hold this file down right here and drag it over. I don't need to go, I mean, I could put it in a folder specifically if I want to, but I could just go ahead and drag that over, and it's going to add to my Google Drive folder. And from here, I can, like, here's a video right here, I can share this with somebody if I want to. So yeah, if you're using G Suite, you've got 30 gigs, and up to, if you have business, you have even more. And I personally, especially when you're working in G Suite for other things, I love using the Google Drive option. But in terms of the virtual open house, what we're after at the end of the day is an MP4 file, .mp4. This is if you're familiar with photos, a JPEG is the file type for a photo. That means you have a photo. MP4s are the same thing, but for video. That's kind of the easiest way for me to explain it, is that MP4s are the video files. Now, just to add one more layer, and then I'm going to shut up about video files, the other acceptable option is .mov. You can see right here I actually have two. MP4, MOV. Both of these are acceptable file formats for video. However, no other ones are. So again, if you're using listings to leads, if you're working with a professional vendor, or if you're using any of the apps that myself or Judy have demonstrated before, you're going to get one of these two file formats and you're going to be okay. So what this looks like in terms of the I got so many tabs, I do not like this. What this looks like in terms of the virtual open house is when you get down here to the video file, what you're going to want to do is click add file. And you've got a couple of options here. If you do have your video housed in a Google Drive, in your drive, you can literally just click my drive right here, find that video, and I could click this video right here, click select, and it would attach to the form. Or, and I'd say this is going to be most often, if you do not have the video in your Google Drive, but you have it on your computer, all you need to do is select that video file from wherever you have it on your computer, your desktop, your downloads, wherever, and you can just drag it over. And if I were to release it, it would start downloading. Or sorry, it would start attaching. The other thing you can do, you can click select files and just search for it on your computer. So I could go to my downloads folder. I could find this video right here or this one here, the one that we just downloaded, and attach it. Now I have this one here that's a very small file, so I'm going to use this for example, but I'm going to click open, so I'm attaching this video, and then you'll see it pop up right there. If you can get to this point, you're going to be in the clear. If whatever you're doing does not look like this, if you're trying to drag a file over and it's not working like this, then you've got an issue. And most of the time, again, you know, the complaint that I get the most, or the issue I get the most, is people saying, I can't paste my YouTube link in, or I can't paste my Dropbox link in. That's because we need the file, like we've said. If you've got the file, you're going to be able to drag it right here. You're going to click upload. And again, depending, now I used a really small file, so it just went boom, done, just like that. And you can see it attached right here. But if you have a larger video file, again, it might take a few minutes. It might take 5 or 10 minutes to upload to your computer. That's fine. When it's done, it's going to look like this. You'll see I have the file attached. And then I'm just going to click submit. And I'm good to go. This screen means your response has been recorded, just like it says. And I know it might be redundant to say that, but I get a lot of people asking me, who will email me and say, hey, did you get my video? Did you get my thing? Now, sometimes they say, hey, did I attach the video correctly? That's totally fine. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you emailing me about anything. But if you see this screen, your response has been recorded and it's in my Google Sheet. And like if I go to the Google Sheet right now, we can see the one that I just added right here as John Smith. So that's what I see. I see the name, the phone number, the address, the price, and then the link to download the video. You can see I got a bunch, and all the USVI listings started coming in. So that's awesome. So if you see this screen, you are in the clear. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to download videos from listings to leads. And then after that, how to download videos from YouTube. And I want to stop sharing my screen for a second to kind of drive home 2 important points. One, I do not like listings to leads videos. And if they are ever submitted, we will always include them in the virtual open house. They're never going to be rejected as long as it's the right video. But you know, the goal of these videos is search engine optimization, so that when someone searches for that property on Google, there's a very high chance of this video coming up on the top page of Google and connecting that consumer with the agent's name and contact info and all that stuff. But these are not, for lack of a better word, attractive videos. And I really think they do the listing a disservice. So I just want to show you one example of why here. So this is, I was working on this one this morning. So this is what a listings to leads video looks like. Like a fifth of the screen is taken up by this bar down here. And then and you'll see if you watch this photo as I scroll, it stretches the listing photos. Do you see how that house is being... You're not sharing your screen. Yeah, why would I be? Thanks, Carrie. Okay, so let's try that again. This full bar right here takes up the whole bottom part of the screen, which I then have to zoom in to take out. And then when I scroll over here to this next photo, if it's actually going to show me now, you'll see how the home is stretched out as the video plays. Let me just turn the music off. I know it's going to come through choppy for you guys, but the photos get stretched out. And so, you know, sometimes they just kind of move back and forth like this, which is not bad at all. But for the ones that get stretched out, it really does not do the property do the property a service. It does a disservice. And so I just, you know, there's no way to get rid of this bottom bar through listings to leads. It's part of the way the videos are generated. You know, we can't remove that. So I just kind of want to start with this caveat of, like, in my world, there are kind of 4 levels of video. Well, maybe 5, but I don't need to be complicated. The first level is a professionally shot video that looks awesome. You know, you had a vendor come in. It seriously does so much for a listing to have that. And we've got agents who do that from $60,000 on up. You know, I have a beautiful video in Florida that was submitted for a home that was listed at like $139,000, $149,000, and it's just a stunning video. The second level would be kind of like an agent walkthrough, right? Where they are taking what we've put to practice and they're practicing what we've talked about, going into the home, doing some great shots. And I'll say, you know, I don't obviously wouldn't be on here because he's an agent, but one of our brand new agents, Serge in Sunstar, has done a great job of that. Where, let me turn the audio off here. Come on, Serge. I don't need to hear your voice right now, my friend. Okay, so when he does the walkthroughs here, he's doing this all by himself. And this is like crystal clear HD video. It might as well be a professional vendor. He's done a very, very good job shooting this, and this is his first listing. So, you know, shout out to Serge if you're watching this on YouTube or something like that. The third level would be a slideshow of photos, which again is pretty straightforward. If you have a bunch of, I think this is one right here, a bunch of photos that you turn into a slideshow, because at least here we have the full image of the property, you know, even though it's just still photos. And then, of course, kind of the very last rung for me would be the listings to leads videos, because again, they have that big bar, they stretch the photos, it just doesn't do well. That being said, I understand why we use them, because they are complementarily made by listings to leads. So you know, you don't want to let that go to waste. But I just, you know, I wanted to start with the point of get videos done by a professional vendor, have the agent do the home walkthrough, because it always looks better. I actually had an agent one time, and I think this was in Paradise, have a, or maybe it was Sunstar, but they had a listings to leads video for their property in the in the open house video, and their client, and it was kind of sandwiched between a couple professionally done videos, and their client actually asked them to remove the listings to leads video from the open house and reshoot it or do something else because they didn't like it, the way it looked compared to the other listings. So that's all I'm going to say about that. All I'm saying is that, you know, a professionally done video is great. But if you don't have that option and listings to leads is the only way to get it in, I want to show you how you can download a video from listings to leads. So I'm signed into an office account right now, in the Cadillac account, and just because that's the password I always remember. And I'm going to go to listings. So when I go to listings, I'm going to choose the listing that I want to use here by just clicking on the address. And I'm going to scroll down under this active marketing banner. I'm going to scroll down to the very last option, YouTube listing video. Now, if I press this little green check mark here, there's going to be a few options here. The first one is just, hey, here's the URL for YouTube. Here, if you click on it, you can play the video on YouTube right here. This is how you can see it on YouTube, on the channel that we have them all going to, so that the video is created no matter what. Now, after you have checked this box, and so, you know, if you don't see a video there, if it's too new, like, you know, hey, if the video just got loaded in 5 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago, it might not be ready right away. That's okay. You can just click this Generate YouTube Video button right here, and it will bring up some music. You know, you can pick whatever you want, but you really can just leave it as is. Scroll down to the bottom and click Generate and upload to YouTube. So that's great. They're putting it to YouTube for you, but you can also from here download the video file, which is what we ultimately need. So like I said, first thing is this is the download button. Again, it's a downward arrow with a little bar right here. I'm going to click on that, and the video is going to automatically start downloading to my computer. Like I mentioned earlier, if you don't see that download button, I actually, when I was getting ready for this training, it wasn't here on this listing, so I clicked generate video again, and I let it refresh, and about half an hour later, this button was there. So as you can see when I go to my downloads folder, it's downloading right here, and now it's done. So then I would open it again. There we go. And here we are again. I've downloaded the video to my computer, and now I can use this video for the open house form. Any questions on, I should have asked about any questions a minute ago, but does anyone have any questions on this part in particular? This is the button you're looking for. It's the download button. If you don't have that button, try clicking generate YouTube video again. Give it a few minutes. I mean, I gave it about an hour. Maybe it was done in 15 minutes, but I gave it an hour just for safety. And this download button appeared right here. So any questions, you guys let me know. I'm just going to grab a drink of water, but there's no water here. The final thing I wanted to go over, so again, like listings to leads makes it super, super easy. Once everything is set up, you literally just click this button right here. But sometimes the button is kind of annoying and it's not appearing, or maybe, you know, your agent is dead set like, well, I've got this YouTube video and I don't have the Dropbox link, or I don't have a link to download it. I just have a YouTube video here, like this one, for example. I've just got the YouTube video. I don't know how to download it. I don't have anywhere else to do it. I need to download it from YouTube. There are ways. So let me start by this. YouTube does not, within its platform, let you download videos from YouTube. They just do not offer that feature. Most of the time it's because YouTube, you know, is a media platform. And if I could, you know, go to a YouTuber that's got millions of views and just start downloading their videos and uploading them on my own channel, well, now I'm stealing their videos, right? So they don't offer that as an option on YouTube at all. Now, there are ways to download videos from YouTube, though. But again, I'm going to stop sharing, and I really hope that I remember to reshare in a second. Two things here. One, they are all third-party tools. All of them are through, you know, companies that have programs that you can plug it in and download. And I'm going to show you one of them in a moment here. So they are all third-party tools. And two, I'm showing you this so that you can help your agents download videos for their listings, off of YouTube. That is the only reason I want you guys to be using these things, because most, you know, these tools, they work for a lot of videos on YouTube, and we can't use, I mean, it's literally illegal to use this to download music, to download other videos. So I'm showing you this under the strict guidelines of use this to download your listing videos so you have a file, but do not use this for any other means. So let me share my screen again. The one that I like to use the most, and the only reason I use this one the most is because when I was at the Discovery Channel, we would use this one because we had our YouTube channel where our editors would upload our videos, and then instead of having them, you know, put the file on a flash drive, run the flash drive over to us, plug the flash drive in, download the video, all these steps, even though we were just across the office, we would just go to this website and download our own videos so that we could make the Facebook edits. So it was just our shortcut to literally cut out running back and forth, uploading and downloading, and so on. So the website that I like to use is called Off Liberty. offliberty.com. That's what it's called, offliberty.com. Here's how it works. You go to YouTube, and now normally, and this is a me thing, I normally click share and then copy the URL right here. But most of the time, in my experience, it works better if you go up here and copy the YouTube link. So I'm literally going to the website bar up here, right click and copy. I'm going to go to Off Liberty. I'm going to right click and paste. And I'm going to click off. And you know, if you hover over off, this little power button appears. It's going to make me wait. And I will say Off Liberty, in my experience, has about a 60% success rate. Most of the time with these listing videos, it works 10 times out of 10. But if you ever start to try to download other videos, you know, you might get an error. But we did not get the error this time, thankfully. So we're going to follow the instructions. We're going to right click here, and I'm going to click Save Link As. And it's going to say, where do you want to save it? I'm going to save it to my Downloads folder, just as this right here, the address right up the top here. I'm going to click Save, and then the file downloads to my computer. So again, how we did that, guys, was we went to offliberty.com. That's the one that I like to use. You could literally Google YouTube to MP4 converter, and there are more options that come up. In my experience, I just prefer using Off Liberty because it's the easiest one to use. What's the other one that I liked? Clip converter is not too bad, but that's, other choices. So then you go to YouTube, you copy that URL, and then you paste it into Off Liberty, and then you click the power button. Now, the other reason why this should be viewed as a last resort. The other reason why that is because they will decrease the quality of the videos. Not because they do it just to mess with you, but because that's the best they can download. So this right here, it might look big on the computer screen, and it's not too small necessarily, but it is about half the size or half the resolution of the original file. And it's one thing when it's photos like this, it is what it is, but it's especially bad and noticeable when you have HD professional videos. When you use Off Liberty or something like that to download videos from YouTube, the quality is diminished normally by at least half. So I just want to say that again to stress that these tools are last resorts. I would always rather, and you or an agent, reach out to the vendor and say, hey, you shot a video for my client or one of our agents at 891 Reardon Street. Can you please give me a link to download the original file? And all of our preferred vendors that I know that our agents work with, off the top of my head, always will respond with a video file for them. Dropbox, Google Drive, Vimeo, all that kind of stuff, you will be given an option to download the original file. If they don't, for whatever crazy reason, then we can look at using one of these tools. But that, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, that is really it, guys. At least from my end. I don't know if Carrie wants to do the other thing if we've got time. But please write in your questions. Again, the reason why I shared this is so that you can, A, download the Listings to Leads videos right from Listings to Leads, so you can do it for your agents. And the other thing I'd like to, I mentioned this earlier, but once you've submitted a video the first time for a listing, you do not need to reattach that video every single time you submit the listing. So the next time you do that, right, when you get to this final option where it says, has this been previously submitted, you just check yes and then submit the form, and you're good to go. So it's only the first time a listing is submitted that you need to include the video file. So what questions do we have about those things specifically, about other aspects of the virtual open house? Again, this will be uploaded to Schmidt Video Classroom today, so you can always refer back to it and get some questions answered. But anything at all on this particular topic?
Well, Judy, I'm going to show this real quick while you're waiting for questions to come in, because it really only takes 2 seconds.
Okay.
So this is Dash, which again, Account Tech is building this out. So eventually this process will transfer over to Transaction Plan. But for right now, if they want it marked as a virtual open house, it does have to be done in Dash. And it will not be overwritten by Account Tech when they submit through. So we're good there, because I did confirm that. So you just find the property that you want, click on it, update details. You're going to scroll down on the first screen here until you get to where it says open houses. You simply choose virtual open house, paste that URL right there, whether it's one that the agent provides you, or if you're pulling down the one that JD's creating for all of them, whatever that might be, you put that in the URL link there. And you do have to do the date and the time. So if you're doing it as part of our program, obviously it's Saturdays at 1 o'clock. And then you simply scroll down to the bottom.
Carrie, 9 a.m. now. About 2 months ago, we put 9 a.m. But yes.
I did know that. Sorry, at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So you can put that day and time in there and then click save. And that's all you have to do. It's just those few quick, simple steps there.